Well, you have to, I mean, you have to balance that idea of, this could actually kill you, especially as you get older.
Right.
But on the other hand, what kind of life is it if you don't get to be with, especially your grandkids and your children and stuff.
So
and to add insult to that injury, it was the same year they closed the dump to do Highway 14.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he goes to the dump 5-6 times a day. So he had nowhere to go.
He's getting like that. He's getting to be
no
that
one
way.
to talk to. So it was miserable.
Oh, boy.
I miss it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
All right. A little something for you here. We talked about a little bit of a surprise, so here it is.
It's a good one.
Here it is.
We'll see.
Yeah, your side will be good. I don't know about mine.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to top that. All right, so there's that one. And here's mine. So I might try to go serious, but I might not. So we'll see what happens.
He's going to just play it by ear.
Here we go. One of my favorite Christmas songs.
Get our hands together.
Melikalikimaka is a thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Melikalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you. Melikalikimaka is a thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we'll send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. Join me. It's not right now. A little instrumental. But on the next one, you can join me.
Okay, I'll give him my best.
Oh, just give her.
Let it go.
Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas to you. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we'll send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is a wise way to say Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, a very, very Merry Christmas to you. Wow. Well, that was a long time. And we appreciate you sitting through all of that.
It's kind of like home movies. You know, you tune in to try to, just get a podcast and you get serenaded. Whether you like it or not, and
you can't hit the pause or like turn off button of the thing. So you have to watch it. Anyway, that was our little special.
Have you ever been to somebody's house?
I have been to someone's house,
well,
yes.
You know what I mean. Somebody's house, and they either bring out the family album, or in this case, a computer or phone nowadays. In the old days, it was a family album, or even some Super 8 movies, or they would have their kid perform for you. And it's like, I didn't ask for that. I didn't sign up for this.
No one cares about little Johnny's performance.
I'm
sorry.
Nobody cares about our performance either.
That's probably
it is one thing nice about YouTube or the videos. You can spin through. Don't put yourself through it if you don't want to.
True.
Listen to it once and then just.
Or if you're a vocal coach,
oh boy,
critique us, especially
trouble.
Anyway, this week is our 36th episode. We've got Dick Royston and Jameson Duhr on the couch, part 1, 2-part series. I'll tell you, at least from experience from that, it was nice I like hearing, older folks talk about different things. He mentioned something during the interview about having ice boxes and getting ice from that. And like, to me, that seems like so far away because I've always had a fridge and I've always had a freezer. Right. So just hearing those things from him and the way things were, it's got a great memory and just was a lot of fun for me to sit and watch. Listen. Hopefully it is for you guys as well. We've also got...
It's a 2-parter, by the way.
It is, yep. Mm-hmm. We've also got Mazomanie Sitewise, Wisconsin Heights Weekly, and Drew will be here with either a state fun facts or this day in history.
And we're kind of heading toward Christmas, the new year, so we're going to do a little celebrating over the next couple of weeks or so, and hopefully you'll enjoy that.
Oh, I'm going to mention one more thing, Demond, right here. We would like people, if they're willing to, pets, kids, themselves with their, loved ones, whatever it is, send us in some pictures. You can send them to the Original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast Facebook page. Just message it to us. Or you can email me personally with it, hudsonbarsness@yahoo.com. All lowercases, no spaces. But we've got our picture right there, and it's goofy. So you can either join right along with a goofy one or a serious one or
we'd like
something
to
of your pet in an outfit or whatever.
If you listen, watch, then just put your face on there, your melon. Put your melon on there. And it doesn't have to be a stocking cap on. It can be out in a winter wonderland, just whatever.
And
we'd like to see you.
And if you don't, Dad and I will be the only ones on there.
And we've got a few pictures that you don't want us to be the only ones.
People aren't going to want to see.
It's not going to be the only ones.
Yeah, you're doing a service to yourself. So anyway, let's get into the 36th episode.
Let's do it.
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the Original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
What?
You're not talking.
Okay, I'm seeing how long people would notice it. Is this our 36th episode? 36th. Big John's over there. Hudson's getting the cameras ready. Mr. Joe Bobby's over there manning the computer to keep us on track and to fact check us, provide all sorts of other things for us. And this is Drew. He's right here. And Demond is behind the scenes post-production person. So welcome in. Nice to have you here.
Got a full house.
Be a good name for a 90s sitcom.
Mm-hmm. Should do something about that.
And if we
Drew
get more
and Dad
people,
or
then
Couch
it'd be
Potato?
Fuller House, which would be a great sitcom for the early 2020s.
Yeah.
And there you have it, folks. Any housekeeping details we need to talk about before we get really started?
Well, Jamie Lucy
Yeah.
had a really nice interview last week.
Sure did.
And people have been commenting.
Uh-huh.
Tim Duhr, who I went to high
Duhr.
school with, talked about another high schooler, Will Royster. And so you guys got to read the comments if you haven't. And we like to hear comments. Our friend Sally from Florida.
Pensacola.
Yep. She always comments. We appreciate you, Sally. And we could just name many, many, many tens and tens and tens of people. But
We have to stop at 10.
yeah, but we don't want to just tell
Spend that
everybody.
We don't want
that.
to call out our whole fan base.
No. That would take the whole podcast.
Well, thank you for spending your however long this podcast is going to be with us, because we know it takes a lot out of people to spend this much time with us. So anyway, why don't we get right into the things we missed last week because we didn't have Wisconsin Heights Weekly or Mazomania as we see it site-wise.
So which one are you going with?
Which
Let's
one
go
went
with
first?
Wisconsin Heights Weekly first.
Oh,
All right.
that's
So
better.
Wisconsin Heights
Joe, do
Weekly.
you have something?
Yes,
for
I do
us?
have something. So Wisconsin Heights Weekly on Friday was a snow day. First snow day of the year.
It's early too.
Friday, December 9th. Just
Correct.
make
Yep.
sure people
Last
are
Friday,
aware.
right? We aren't being prophets saying that it's this coming Friday, but it was last Friday, and it's kind of early, isn't it? Didn't when you guys were in school, didn't some superintendents like call it off immediately? We had one superintendent that lived in Madison, and it seemed like she didn't really want to test, and you can't fault her really. She had to drive all the way from Madison. Then we've had other superintendents that lived
right over
not
here,
very
and they can make
far,
it
and they
all the
didn't
time.
ever call it off. And so this is kind of an early one. Do you know how many snow days you guys get?
I think it's like 3 or 4.
Is it?
And then
And if they go
you
over, they have to
then
make
you
it
gotta
up.
Stay longer.
It's terrible.
I didn't have
Talk
a
about
single
living for the moment.
I didn't have a single snow day my senior year.
Wow.
I feel like you should get those paid back to you, like PTO
Like they
days
pay it
when you
forward
work at a.
thing.
Reparations.
No, not like
Yeah.
paid
Snow day
for it.
reparations
Yeah,
you should get as a student.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Because that was the year of the drought that summer.
Yeah, that winter was a drought, I think.
When I was in school, every once in a while, it happened a couple of times that the boiler went out. That
From the
was what
boiler
they
room.
heated. They heated the thing with a boiler. Evidently a huge water boiler that they heated the whole school with down in Mazo. It went out, so we couldn't have school. That was always
awesome.
nice. It was nice in the old days. There was not as good a, cars. There wasn't as good a
Plows.
There wasn't as good a equipment. All sorts of stuff in the school. So we were
good
off
old
regular.
days.
I don't know if we ever made them up. I know we never made them
Well,
up.
and the problem
I
is
would have remembered that.
The problem is with that is when you keep kids and high schoolers and stuff longer, when you get to those last days of the year, they're not worth anything. They're really not. You know what I mean? People are checked out. They're ready for summer. So it's like, here, let's add on 2 more days or another day. It's like, what are you doing?
And as if they haven't been told school ends June 3rd.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you can add
June
2 more
5th.
days and you go, oh, okay, so we'll save our goof off days when we're already, the last 2 or 3
Yeah.
days are just like, it's got to be babysitting and tough for teachers or educational assistants. As Joe was.
That is true.
Yep.
Anyway, keep going, Joe.
Okay, so then let's get into the sports. The Lady Vanguard basketball team is 2-5. They lost Thursday 60-54 at home against Poinet.
Kind of a tight one there.
We just
Yeah.
don't
6
have the
points.
same home court advantage we used to.
Next
I don't know if
game.
that's true or not. But
Next game is at home against Belleville. That's Friday the 16th. And just a little bit of, I know that points aren't the only thing in basketball, but Emily Van Ripper is scoring 14.2 points a game.
Or Van Riper even.
Yep, Van Riper.
Yep.
Van Riper, yeah.
Our friend Ryan Van
His
Riper's
nickname
daughter.
is the Ripper.
But I think that's what he would prefer me calling him.
Well, she's the net ripper.
She's in
Yep.
Yeah. The
Net
net
Von
ripper.
Ripper.
We
She,
didn't plan
Emily
that. That was
Net
good.
Ripper.
So
Nice.
what's her name?
first name?
Emily? Is there a name Emily?
She's
Emily
really
the net ripper.
She's really competitive too. Her dad says so.
That's right.
She's the EV. She's the EVR. Yep.
He was a guest on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan's
RVR
out
Service.
there.
Services.
I saw him today. He's plowing snow.
Shout out to Ryan.
Yep.
out to you,
And then Kira P is scoring 9.7 points per game, and Michaela T is scoring 7.7 points per game.
Wow.
Is
Get
her
your
last name
stats suffered.
T-E-E? Is
No,
that
it's just I
Hey,
just
you know
did
what?
that for
T's
Well,
and
we've
P's
been
for
out
the
of
other
school
guys.
for a long
days,
time,
yeah.
so
Well, not only that,
there's
but
people we don't know.
we don't want to
unfortunately.
shout out,
No.
high school kids. This is such
Yeah.
a large podcast. We don't want to invade their
No.
privacy.
plus we
and
don't
stuff.
want them to
Except for Emily's.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we didn't get. Well, I mean, her dad mentioned her on the podcast,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
so
why.
he felt
he gave us
comfortable.
permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then moving on to the boys basketball team. They are 3-2.
Oh, there we go.
They won on Tuesday 72-61 against Lancaster, and that
Oh,
was
crushed
at
them.
Those
Lancaster.
Lancers.
I'll take that.
Is that what they are? The
Lancaster.
Lancaster Lancers? They
Aren't
aren't
they
the
arrows?
I
Lancers.
don't know.
Lancaster arrows?
I think they are,
Maybe they're the Lances.
aren't they?
I'm going to look it up right now.
John,
I think they're the Lancers.
what hill are you dying on?
Well, that was the place that we played for the regional championship, and I thought
in your
that was
face, Joe.
Lancers.
That's where
Did you ever
Hudson
play for
got,
a regional
that's where Hudson
Anybody
got
else-
in the
Did
picture.
anybody else play with a regional
we
champion?
beat them
Hudson
seven.
kind of did
We beat them 7.
because he was jumping in the middle of the picture.
I stole Joe was the water boy, and I.
We got to get that picture up here.
That's Joe's
don't know if
PTSD.
Well,
They're Lancaster. They're the Lancers. I'm believing in it.
I am too.
Lancaster High School communities. Flying Arrows. The Flying Arrows. You guys were really close.
When
the
did they change
Lancers
that?
and
I
the-
was
Joe was
dead
right
on.
When did they
You
change
said
that?
arrows.
Yeah,
These are flying arrows.
Yeah, those aren't
That's a big
sheathed
difference.
arrows,
That's
Joe.
like the difference between Knights and Glarner Knights. I still haven't figured out what a Glarner is.
Yeah,
I think
don't know
they
either.
Are you
gleam
sure
or
that was
something
the
What
like
if
Ravens?
John Kolstad watches this?
I wonder if that's a.
You know, the
is that
guy
a
that-
Swiss? Is that a Swiss?
Yeah,
I
think it
can't
is.
imagine it wouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that those
I'm
were
not down on
always
you
called the
about that. I'm
Glarner
just telling
Knights of
you that
Swiss.
I would
you
think
ever
it would
looked, have
be
you ever
down
looked
there.
up what a Glarner Knight is?
Let me
Look it up,
look.
Chopper.
Go ahead. You won't find anything.
I think we'll just have to do a.
This podcast is going to turn into Wisconsin high school mascots.
Capital
Yes.
Conference
Could very
mascots.
easily.
And all of the people that don't like those
I think
types
they
of
just
things
made
will
it
be
up.
gone.
Yeah, how about we just go
Garner
with
Knights.
what is
Yeah, I
a
was
Glarner
gonna say
Knight?
you got to ask
That's what
the
I did.
question.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
said
That's not.
Glarner
I
I
just
Knights.
didn't-
see
I
a
have-
Google
yep.
search.
Okay, I'm close.
Yeah.
What is a Glarner Knight?
Garner Knights.
I think they just made it up.
I've
Garner
done
days.
this.
That's what you were
I
looking for.
did this because I used to do the PA announcing for the Heights basketball and baseball.
What if you just
and
look
I
up the word Glarner?
tried to find out what Glarner meant.
What does Glarner mean?
I wonder if it's fully garbed.
Ooh.
Oh,
Garnered?
oh.
It's a surname.
Oh.
Gardner
Oh.
Knights.
Oh, so you mean it's
Fritz
somebody's
Glarner.
last name?
Oh, maybe.
The Glarners?
Oh,
He
why don't
owns
you
a
We're
just
always playing the Glarners
It
when
is
we go
a-
down to do
It's a
Glares?
Swiss
All
American
of them are
painter,
Fritz
Fritz
Glarner.
Fritz Glarner.
Oh, so he had his own
Possible.
Glarner
Town.
Knights.
army.
Huh.
It's possible
I'll
he
be-
was. Maybe there was a
Maybe he
Glarner
was
that was
knighted.
famous down
Yeah.
in the New Glarus area.
Do we get down
Oh,
to New
that's what it
Glarus?
means.
Do we-
You are sure.
Say that, Drew.
Can't even see it.
Glarus. That's what it means.
Huh?
Glarus.
Oh, so it's
Glarner.
it's the
Oh.
Glarus Knights.
New-
That
got it.
is the
The new
well.
Knights.
There's
The
Glarus
Swiss- maybe
over
there's
in
Swiss
Switzerland.
Knights. Maybe there's
There's
Swiss
Glarus, just like Holland here, New Holland.
Got
Holland
it.
over there, New Holland.
The Glarus Knights.
New London over here, London
is
over
all-
there. Can I go on?
That's
Are you what?
What I'm
There's
saying
probably a
is
lot of
in the
people-
old country, there's old and then there's new
Let's
over
hear.
here.
Let's how they pronounce that. I just want to make sure.
Glana.
Glana.
Gla-
Why'd that not go through the TV?
Galana.
that's weird. It should have gone through the TV.
That's all right.
Well, you said it,
confused.
Drew, really well.
Glana.
That was just like she said it.
There's
Yeah,
probably
it
a
was
fair
very
amount of
similar.
people that have been watching us think this through, and they've known the whole time we've been talking
You think
about
so?
it.
I doubt
It's
it.
possible.
I'm just gonna
They're
start
Maybe.
calling
just
them.
shouting at their screen right now.
I'm just gonna call them the Glarus Knights.
watching.
Yeah. Well, that is interesting. I'm glad we went on that little thing. I mean, how long have
That's
we?
what you call a tangent.
So you call them the new Glarus Knights? So that's
Well, but
basically what
that's-
it is.
But they're throwing their
It's just a name.
their Swiss culture in there.
Don't throw your Swiss culture at us. And Glarus, don't do it.
Anyway,
proud
back
of
to Wisconsin Heights Weekly.
Okay, so after I was right about the Lancaster Flying Arrows, next game for the men's basketball team is December 10th,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow,
On Saturday the 10th,
2:30 p.m.
before
Oh, yeah,
this
sorry,
comes
yeah.
out.
Last Saturday.
Parkville.
Oh,
I think it's Orfordville, Parkview.
Yeah, let's.
Parkview.
And the leading scorers
Man,
for the
nemesis.
team is Jacob Brabender, 13.5 points per game.
Nice.
Caden Kennedy, 12 points per game. And John Vosberg, 10.5 points per game.
wow, nice.
Of course,
Needs to round that up to a even 11, I think.
Derek
us over the
Adler
top a little bit.
hurt again.
Yep.
Derek is a senior. And he's a good
Plagued by
athlete.
injuries,
He-
unfortunately.
He's played since he was a freshman, and then he got hurt.
Hmm.
So
Had a rough
A
high school
freshman on the
career.
varsity.
Yep.
Better be.
What else? Anything else?
That
you got
is
there?
that is all I have.
Are those all the flying arrows you have?
All the other thing I mean this isn't going to be this isn't going to make any difference or whatever, but Santa is coming to the community building.
Wait, is that
On
Wisconsin
Saturday.
Heights Weekly or is that part of?
He just stole one of mine.
This is Christmas Spirit, Hudson. It's even better than
Yeah, but
Wisconsin
that's
Nights
not-
Weekly.
Joe, just because you got the flying arrows right doesn't mean you steal Santa
Yeah,
from
don't
John.
be
John
shooting your
didn't know
arrows
that.
all around.
Yes,
You're
he
hitting
did.
them all.
He was
That's
going to
gonna
bring it up.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
this
coming
is
to the library.
Have you ever
on the
heard of a
10th.
segue?
Going to find out who's
And I
naughty and
thank you,
nice.
and I
didn't-
bless
we didn't
you
even
for
go there
giving
yet,
me that
Joe.
silky segue.
We're not
You've
even.
been naughty today.
No, I'm not.
Santa Claus is coming to town. He's going to
Yes,
check
you
the
get some
list,
gold.
baby.
Joe, stop checking your list. He's already checking his.
So it's 1 to 4 at the community building.
Yep.
And so that'll lead silkily into
He's big time, John's
Mazo
segment.
Satwise.
John, how do you feel
John
about
doesn't
that?
have
Let's
anything
talk
else.
about that.
Now we have to be done.
Um,
Hey,
Lisa,
Joe, how would you like it if I took all your Wisconsin Heights Weekly stuff?
Well, because you said that in the past, I don't ever have anything down, which is a false accusation, almost libel, and so now I had something written down. I went above and beyond.
But that's not. We didn't.
Got
That's
it
not
on
part of your job.
John's
title.
territory.
But you got more about that, don't you?
Yeah, probably. Oh,
Is that all you
That's
had?
it? Well,
Just that it's happening on the
let's-
10th.
It's at the community building.
All right, let's-
wait,
yeah,
but that's
we
last.
got stuff.
Let's move into it.
We
It
got
ends up
stuff.
being-
we got some
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
We're moving into
what's happening?
What-
Well, not
what we
what's
see
happening, what we
site-wise
see site-wise
in
in
Mazo.
Mazo. Yep.
You mean Satwise?
Yeah.
Oh, let me say,
all right, John.
You're
So
welcome.
I think you guys saw this too, but they are currently having that giving tree or whatever it is, the free hats out there by the library. So if you're in need, looks like there are more children's hats that I saw.
I don't
but
know. Yeah,
they wouldn't
but-
fit Dad.
No, that's not fair.
What
they're not
was-
made for nuclear warheads.
No.
They don't have enough knitting
Surface
material.
area. Yeah,
You take 2 women to knit that.
They said they could either make one Todd hat or several small
hats.
I
Well,
get it.
So that's going on.
we
When I
have a
walked-
picture of that.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
go
it's
keep
here.
going.
Oh,
no,
picture?
it's not on
no,
there.
no,
Dylan's
no,
gonna
okay.
flash
Oh,
it.
okay.
And just a caveat to that, you took a picture of that,
Yep.
but we returned
Yes.
the
Yes.
cap. We didn't keep
Yep.
it.
No.
We wanted to show. We wanted to show
The
what it
handiwork.
looked
The
like. It was
handiwork, and
very
they're
nice.
very nice,
And
beautifully
I think
colored.
some of the people that knitted them or crocheted them are the same people that did the help me
For
out
the
here.
trees.
The quilts.
Quilts.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we
showed.
down at the
Oh,
Yeah.
and they were meeting, and maybe they still do. I think it's Nancy Stoller. She organizes, I think it is, down at the 1855 Coffee House. They knit and
Oh.
drink coffee or whatever.
I wonder if
Maybe
they
with
allow
Michelle
all the
down
media
there.
in there.
Huh?
Wonder if they allow all the media into their meetings.
I don't know.
You guys could get up close and personal there.
Oh, us being the
Yeah.
media.
I mean,
Oh,
just-
yeah,
yeah.
we
It's-
could.
They're like
Don't even think you need a
closed
pass.
courtrooms. No,
No,
media
they talk
courtrooms.
with us, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Yep.
Well, maybe
Uh,
Frau Springstead knows because
yeah.
she's part of that. And
I guaranteed Jet knows, and I even more guarantee know that the mayor of
Dick Royston
Yeah, he
knows. You
knows.
know he knows.
Yep. And then we had obviously our first significant snow in Mazo today of 2022. Would it be?
It's 2022.
Well, I know it is
right
but
now.
maybe
Of the
maybe we had more-
2022, 2023.
Yeah, exactly.
Winter
First
season.
snow. Yep.
Yeah, we had
Of the
some
fallish
snow
winter.
earlier, but it didn't stick around for
Correct.
long.
Yep. Significant snow.
We got what, 4 inches, 4 or 5 inches, probably.
I'd say that's fair. It was heavy. It's heavy snow. It's not.
I would
Careful when
know.
you're out there.
I was right out there in it.
Yep. And I think that's.
And then Santa's coming.
Oh, Santa's
to town.
coming. I thought it was right outside the library. I thought they come in the
They're doing it
library as well.
outside?
I think he may be hitting
It's
two
gonna be chilly.
spots.
That's why they need the hats.
Well, yeah, but I saw a picture
Santa's
on
just
what's
gonna
happening in
drive
Mazo
by
of the community
his
building,
sleigh.
and it's all decorated, and that's where I don't know if they're going in there for some.
Maybe Joe
Yeah, here
knows
it is.
where it's at.
There it is, right there. See, I mean,
It's at the
nobody
community
can see
building,
that.
1 to 4.
I know it's outside.
On Saturday.
The sign is also
Joab said,
outside the.
Joab said it.
The library.
Joab, give it to us
So,
again.
Santa is coming to Mazo, making a stop Saturday.
Last Saturday.
Oh,
The 10th.
terrible. What?
We're trying to get. I mean, like
Damn.
when I
1
looked
to
at it, I
4.
thought,
We're
oh
the-
no.
we're the
Let's
worst.
listen. Hey,
We're
listen.
working
We
hard.
we can't see into the future.
That's true. Santa's got a lot of stops.
Let's
What do you want
talk
us to do?
about Santa for a minute.
Okay.
Think about how tired yet versatile and energetic he is, because you know that he's visiting other places other than Mazo.
Yeah.
And then he's got just a little bit of time to rest up for the 24th.
Yeah.
And then he's got to go all over the world delivering presents that
We-
night.
nice that he
what an
makes-
honor to make a stop in Mazo.
Oh, yeah.
You
Maybe
know what
that's
feels him? Christmas spirit.
Christmas spirit.
So just bring it every day.
You know what the best way to share Christmas spirit?
I think you're getting
Saying
this wrong.
loud for all to hear.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you,
How to spread
this isn't
Christmas
something
cheer.
you think about a whole lot with
Sing it loud
Santa.
for all to
But
hear.
Santa,
You get
whatever's
the point.
whatever Santa's, daytime job throughout the year, he makes a lot of money.
He's writing his list all
I
year.
mean,
Why? Well, how does he make money?
well, because he's got to buy all those presents for people.
no, his,
Oh, he doesn't
the-
buy
Oh,
No,
those are
that's-
the elves.
oh, the
materials,
elves
whatever.
make those.
He's-
No, I don't
Oh,
think
so they just fashion out of nothing.
I think so.
He's a
I think
nonprofit.
they-
Oh, wow.
I think he
They're
just
that good.
creates.
he's
the-
he's either a non-profit or a non-for-profit, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, but
Not
he,
for
I,
profit.
no, I think he is. I think he's for profit. I think he might be a voiceover artist.
Oh,
It's very possible.
he could be. I mean, you hear him a lot on the
Oh,
radio
that's
and
true.
television and
Yeah.
stuff.
There was a
true.
guy that we work with that was doing. He said he's been doing a bunch of Santa Claus and the Grinch things. I said that's
Voiceover?
tough.
Yep.
That's a.
Yeah,
He's
in
Dr.
the
Jekyll
same
and
commercial.
Mr.
or
Hyde.
different
You
commercials.
know what I said to him? Pun intended. I said those are polar opposites.
No, you
South Polar.
Yeah.
rascal, you.
That was nice. Did he like that joke?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what he said.
And that's
He probably
you
laughed.
know
He
why?
laughed over
You know why he
text.
liked it, Drew? That's a good work joke.
These are we got so many inside jokes over here. Sorry.
Okay, do you have some things?
I have nothing else.
Okay,
Oh,
so here's something to think about.
Okay.
I know we can't name them all, and we're gonna miss somebody, so we shouldn't name them all. But like I'm looking through like what's happening in Mazo, so you can go there. It's Facebook. Just type in what's happening in Mazo. Most people know that. But like
created by Scott Johannick, right?
no.
No,
he
wasn't
even-
Michael. I won't.
Michael Lore.
Yeah.
I believe that's
Oh,
how you
that's
say his
right.
last name.
Yep. And
My fault.
Anyway, the new tap house, Iron Horse Tap House, is having DJ Robbie Rob.
Oh,
DJ Robbie Rob.
He was the guy that
New
used to
Year's
dri-
Eve for their celebration. See,
wow.
this is where you guys gotta get up with it. We can't be always talking about the past.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've got
good.
to
I
go
like
to the
what we're
future.
working at, though. I mean,
Look at
We
you're
need
right.
more
Site-wise-
zing and pep like that.
Site-wise
Some of us
happens
aren't
though
always members
there.
of-
You're in
Sometimes
it.
it happens behind. I get that, but we also got to look into the future too.
Oh,
Let's just
wow.
keep that in mind. And so I'm going to New Year's Eve already.
Oh, wow.
Boom, just like
I don't know
that.
if I can handle that.
And like places like Car Valley Cheese, they have specials.
Oh,
I'm going over there.
The cow's decorated. I saw that.
You
for
mean the
Christmas.
seat?
The
The
cow
cow that
seat?
you can
Cow
sit
seat.
on?
Yep, out front. I was told.
you told that.
Oh,
I was told.
It's a bench. It's
Somebody
not an actual.
told
Not
me.
by the cow.
This is across the street. You probably could just
Yeah.
look.
They told me.
Well,
well, what was I saying?
you're
Oh,
gonna go, you're gonna go over there.
I'm going over there to buy a few little goodies that we're going to have for taste tests.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coming up
Please
before
don't
Christmas.
Get us
that
some
really
stinky
stinky
stuff.
stuff.
No,
Yeah,
we
come
won't
on.
get Lindbergher cheese. We won't get Lindbergher cheese.
No,
You would know right
But you know,
away.
there's other like the 1855 Coffee House, and a lot of these places are having specials.
Apothecary.
Yep, they've got specials, and I was noticing here, not just in Mazo, but like Black Earth, and they're having a Christmas. Think about this: they're having a Christmas caroling on horseback in Cross Plains.
What?
It's the
Wow.
second annual, so they're going to go around
I would
town
do that.
on
You don't have
horseback.
a horse.
I know. But if somebody
Caroling.
would lend me a horse,
I would not.
you would not lend someone a horse, or you wouldn't go caroling
I would
on
not
a
go
horse.
carrying a horse.
You were working. This is going to sound like
Combines two
we're
bad
talking about
things.
Cross Plains, but you were talking to somebody at the school the other day that says that they watched the podcast.
Yeah, Diane Rauke.
Diane Rauke.
Diane
And you said that
Rauke.
her daughter, right,
I think so.
Paula Brunner.
which she lives in Cross Plains.
Oh, so maybe,
wow.
maybe
Wait,
she'll get
Diane
caroled
does?
too.
No. I believe Paula
No,
does.
Paula Brunner.
Brunner.
'Cause-
Brunner Rauke.
Because I just saw Diane's name in here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
She was doing something for share
the sharing tree, the
Christ- yeah.
Wisconsinite sharing
Oh,
tree.
okay.
Yeah, and now that's old because it's Saturday the 10th, which is last week. But you know, good for them, the sharing tree. And so my point being, local businesses need our support, and they, provide something, great in the area. So
Shop local.
support them. I don't have a reverse sponsor, so during this holiday
getting them all
season,
out.
I'm going to just have every local
Or throw in a
business be the
blanket out
reverse
there. Yeah.
sponsor.
Well, you probably could do one for Car Valley Cheese there in Mazo when we do our taste test.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, thank you for
you're
that.
welcome.
Thanks. That's a great idea. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Have we had enough? Or
We thirsty for more.
Just
Are we
trying
thirsty
to
for more?
think. Just trying to
Oh,
think.
have you given us any updates on Roundy's?
It's paved.
Oh, beautiful.
And the last week, the Christmas lights went up when we were gone, or the Christmas decorations around town.
So
mom took a picture of the promenade.
Okay, great.
nice.
So when we
We were gone, and I think they put them up right after Thanksgiving.
they are. I mean, I'm sure it takes a while
Yeah.
to put those up.
At the beginning of this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
you guys didn't even know this because you weren't up here, and you're not part of the
Inner
inner
workings.
inner
Yeah.
workings.
we're not in the production meeting.
You're not in the production meeting.
Those happen on Tuesday. by the way.
we had a special solo time with karaoke.
I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I sang a song, and Hudson sang a song.
Wow.
And so we need to sing something together.
Oh, that'd
the
be
five
fun.
of us.
Right now.
No.
Okay.
In the coming weeks, as
Sure.
we get closer to Christmas, it might be something real
Do some
simple.
jingle bells or
People can
Jingle.
tell us what
Jingle.
they want us to sing. If they want, we probably won't do it because
Did you say Jenga bells?
I said jingo.
Oh, Jenga.
Jenga bells. That would be kind of fun.
To just
I don't know.
oh,
Sounded good when I heard it.
that's all I've got. I
You mentioned this, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah,
we
we
did
that
did
was last week. That was
Yeah,
last
those
week.
are nice.
We
Must have missed it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
also
all right.
we mentioned not
He
to
was jet
not to
lagged.
Pile
on, but we did mention. In fact, I think you mentioned
I think I did.
the Christmas
Oh, did I?
the Christmas
He did, yes.
decorations.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That was the only thing we
Now I
had,
remember.
basically.
We were just back from Florida.
Yeah,
that
I was still on
He was
island
jet
time.
lagged.
Yeah.
You were
yeah.
unplugged.
I was
That
totally
was the
unplugged.
problem.
Yeah.
Felt
Now you're
so
plugged
good
back
to
in,
just-
so you're
yeah.
remembering all these things. But
Yeah.
we could go a little bit longer, and maybe we need to. But I can't wait to get to our interview.
Mm.
Yeah.
Go ahead and set it up, unless you guys got something else.
With Dick Royston.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew.
You just
What are you and Joe in the same camp right now?
What did you call him? Called him Dick Royston?
No.
It's Mayor.
it's
Mayor
not.
Dick Royston.
It's
Dick
actually
Mayor Dick Royston.
It's actually the warden, and you'll see
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
maybe the second part of the interview. Can't
Oh,
remember.
the
I
way
can't
it
remember.
It was second.
Tease. You're teasing
But Dick didn't know that his grandkids and stuff called him the warden,
Ah.
and so Dad
Because-
said
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
No.
We won't- we
and
won't-
there
we
was another
can't.
breaking news.
Mm.
This
That's
is
true.
happening all the time.
Twice.
Yeah,
On ours.
like
It's like,
like
what?
Jet and Jerry announced their
Yeah.
whatever
Mhm.
fifth
Grandkid,
or fourth or
grandson.
fifth grandchild, and Jameson and Dick talked about. Well, the warden came out, and also something else came out. It's always breaking news.
Everybody
I just call
flocks
you-
to our
I just call you
podcast
Mayor.
to break news.
You miss
to
a
people.
minute of this, you miss a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's true.
But just one real quick real quick thing. They do like former President Barack Obama, former President Donald Trump. They call them, you keep that. So that's what
That
you're
title.
saying is
Former mayor.
I mean, he was the mayor of blank. I'm not going to tell you because he'll tell us. But for quite a few years, over a decade, he was the mayor. So why wouldn't he be called?
I was appalled by Drew's flippancy with.
I think you feel. I mean, he comes and watches the Mustangs. You
I've
talk
talked
with
to- yeah,
him.
I mean,
John sits
I'm
with
on
him.
a first name basis with him. I don't feel like I
He
have
gets
to
season
say,
tickets
I don't
for
have
the
to say
Mesa
sir.
Mustangs.
I think he
Dick
said
Royston.
to you,
Yeah.
"Don't call me mayor.
Can you please
Just
drop
call me
that?
Dick."
He's a
He's a man of the
mayor
people.
mayor
Man
of the people.
Yeah.
Joe's not happy because John just stole that from him.
No.
No,
It's okay.
Well, you got him back.
Yeah. Now we're even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We will get into the first part with Dick Royston and Jameson Duhr. So we'll get you there right after this.
Pajamas and talk to myself in a padded cell.
Well, I've
So-
watched you two, and then one time you had the four boys on. All of you were on here, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
You guys sitting
A couple
one
times they've had
Yeah,
that.
we
couple times like that.
actually we do that basically every time now. We have
So what gave you this idea?
Geez, who's asking the questions here?
Try to.
No, hey, it's
Why? I'm not on camera. I can ask that.
No, you can
I
ask.
always wanted to be an announcer.
Did you really?
You did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you
Baseball, when I was-
so you asked the question, and you can ask any questions you want. The question was when did you had the idea, Hudson, right?
I did.
Okay.
We do voiceover stuff, and we started it out actually doing kind of voiceover related videos and stuff like that for people in the voiceover world. That's kind of why we started it, kind of to track my journey, because I'm only 2 years in, and so I'm trying to, make my business go, and he's already, at the top. So just the things that he taught me, thought they'd be helpful for people getting into voiceover, and then we decided to kind of
Make it more
laid
local
back
and laid back,
yeah.
and we have the couch potatoes. That's Jonathan and Joe and Drew, the three oldest boys. So they come and join us for goofy stuff. We talk about what's happening in Mazo and what's happening at
It's very
Wisconsin
interesting.
Heights.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to your. Why don't you talk for a second?
Jameson.
Hi,
give
how's
us
it
a-
going?
Good.
Good.
Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds perfect.
Perfect. All right.
Well, thank you for coming by.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably shouldn't ask you this right away, but do you mind saying how old you are?
83 last week.
83 last week.
Yeah.
So that's
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, 83. I remember on the Mazo sign
The
when
board
you come
there.
in, the board, your 80th birthday. But
Yes,
3 years have gone by since then.
Yes, it has.
It's hard
So-
to believe it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
The last 2 years don't really count.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the COVID stuff. You survived COVID.
Thank goodness, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But a lot of hardships in there, being away from people. And,
yeah. Yeah.
and the
Oh, but it was-
grandkids was the worst when you had to sit. They were in windows out the back window, and then there were others were on the front porch, and
Oh, so you just see them, but not really
could
be
see
with them,
and
right?
we
Yeah.
could talk through the window,
Yeah.
and that's the best we did for
Yeah.
quite a while.
Yeah.
And then we finally says, "That's it. We're
Done with that, huh?
done with that.
Yeah.
They're going to come in. We'll control the outside, but not family."
Yeah.
I feel like COVID is harder on you than it was on anyone for that reason.
Yeah.
Because we just, not used, we still do just storm into the house and eat whatever we want. And then when it all just ended.
Well, you have to balance that idea of, this could actually kill you, especially as you get older.
Right.
But on the other hand, what kind of life is it if you don't get to be with, especially your grandkids and your
Right.
children and stuff.
So
And to add insult to that injury, it was the same year they closed the dump to do Highway 14.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he goes to the dump 5-6 times a day. So he had nowhere to go.
He's getting like that. He's
no
getting to be that
one to
way.
talk to. So it was miserable.
Oh, boy.
I miss it. And,
Oh, yeah.
and us old timers, we used to go to breakfast every Friday during and it ranged from 10 to 15, and when the drive-in up there quit serving breakfast and so forth, we went to Grandma Mary's.
Okay.
But several of us quit that when the virus started. And
Yeah.
so we had very boring contact with people, except when you got a grandson like him, it's not boring. He's our joker.
Who did you like? Who were some of the guys that you went to
We
Gordon's
went with right from town. It was Jim Craney, myself, Les Sanders,
Oh,
Bob Dodsworth. Getting old. Benny Hodson.
oh yeah.
From town here. Rod Nelson, who lived out on Mahaka Road there. And it just, Knut Larson, he's gone now too.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, there was a couple others, and they're both gone too.
Wow.
Out of the groups. So we have, we used to call us the Romeos. It was retired old men eating out.
Romeo group.
Who came up with that? You?
No, I didn't.
You were-
I think it was Bob Dodsworth that came up with that.
Okay.
It's really
good.
Yeah.
Yes. No.
So do you still go to Grandma Mary's?
No.
Oh, you don't.
Once the virus started,
I see.
I quit, and then a few went, 3 or 4, but 2 of them are. 3 of them. Carl Everett was another one.
Oh yeah.
There's 3 or 4 of us that have gone during the virus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are a lifetime resident, obviously, of Mazo.
Yep. Except I went to Black Earth for 3 or 4 years.
You did.
Yes.
What caused you to do that?
Well, I was really born over on, and the barn is still there, over by the Curtis Street Church. There's right across there was a older house and that brown barn that sits right on Matheson Road.
Really?
And I was born there, and we farmed that, and I was milking cows back there at that time. I was 5 or 6.
Wow.
And my grandparents had a bigger farm in Black Earth, town of Black Earth, on Sutcliffe Road.
Wow.
Okay.
And back in there. And so my grandfather was getting older, and he wanted a smaller place. So we just switched.
Oh, really?
And my dad farmed the big farm, and my grandparents came back there in Mazo. And I was there during young too, and I went to Black Earth for first grade. And that's the only time that I left Mazomanie. We came back to another farm out by the Hodsons. It's now the sewer plant. That was our land out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be
And
pretty
we
fertile
lived
ground
along-
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had our own school district out there, I think, because it was the Parmans,
Right.
the Parkins, and the Wolves on that side
Yeah,
of the road.
right.
On this side, it was the Hodsons
Yeah.
and the Roystons.
How many in your family growing up?
There were 6.
Yeah.
My dad had 6, but we were surrounded by, like, the Parmans
Right.
had, I think, 13.
Yeah.
The Wolves had 11.
Yeah.
The Hodsons had 11.
Yeah.
We had 6.
Yeah.
And Parkins had 5. But that's, about
Yeah.
50 people.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
in
3
5
families.
places.
yeah, that valley down there was
That
fertile
valley
in
was-
more ways
yeah.
than
Oh, man.
And we got together,
already
but it was
behind the 8
them were
ball.
the good old days. You got together back then, and we did thrashing at each farm, and back and forth, and we were together a lot.
What was your dad's name?
William,
William.
yeah,
Okay. And your mother was Navita?
Navita,
Yeah.
she was a Borman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew your mother because she worked at the grade school
Yes,
doing lunch.
yes. My grandmother worked there
Oh, really? Okay.
in the cafeteria, like.
Yeah. Yeah. Your mother was there, and then she lived in that little yellow house.
That's that's the Mazomanie homestead. That's
Oh, it is?
that little yellow house. We had 6 kids and mom and dad in that house.
You got to be kidding.
Yeah, 'cause
No,
how old were
I'm
you?
not kidding.
That is a tiny house.
How old were you moved into that house?
Pardon?
How old were you when you moved into that house?
Oh, I must have been I'm trying to think.
Teenager?
8th grade in there someplace.
Okay, yeah. So he's the oldest. So all
Yeah.
those
Oh,
kids.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Dick, you,
Yeah.
and is Sharon the next?
Sharon next.
Sharon Craney.
Sharon Craney. Then we had Kathleen, who was deceased at a young age.
Oh,
she had
I didn't know
breast
that.
cancer and died at 45.
Oh.
And then there's Virginia Mellum. She lives in Black Earth, married Dwayne Mellum.
Okay.
And then there's Jane Peterson, who lives in Mazo, right across the street from me.
Yeah.
And then there was David, my brother. So
Yeah.
my brother and I were sandwiched in, with 4 girls in between. And if you don't think that in a little 1-bathroom house was a problem getting to go to the bathroom.
You probably almost needed an outhouse with 4
Right.
girls trying to get ready for school in the morning and
Well,
stuff.
I know sometimes we had to use the
I was say.
tall oak.
Yeah, I hear you.
we had Christmas and the Royston family Christmas and holidays down there. I never even bother going to the bathroom, and I just go outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you remember
Why
when they
bother?
remember when they owned the house there still?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
the only house I remember my great grandma living in.
What year did she pass away? Your mother?
I was 16, so 2000.
My grandmother?
Your mother?
My mother. Let's see, she's been gone
2008.
12 years, 11 years, I think.
Okay.
12. Yeah, pretty. I can't remember years still.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2008.
Huh. And of course, David Roundy.
Yes.
He's I don't know how many years older than I am, but there's quite a bit of difference in age between you and he. You're 83, and what is he? 70? Is he 70?
Just turned 70.
He just turned 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're almost 13 years apart.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah. I didn't know your family was a farming family. I had no
we
idea.
farmed for 3 different locations.
Are you related to Bob and Lucille?
Yes. They're my aunt and uncle.
They are, so that was your dad's brother.
Yes.
Was there another Royston boy too of that generation? Charles. Okay.
Chuddy, they called him.
Chuddy. Yes. Right. Okay.
And he
I
married
haven't heard that one. Yeah.
Dolores Lockwood.
Yeah. I don't remember her so much, but I remember Chuddy. Remember him.
And at times, all 3 of the brothers, they had a sister too,
Okay.
Dorothy, but she was in a Chicago girl with her husband.
Okay.
They had no kids, but at one time, all 3 of the Royston boys lived right in Mazomanie.
Oh, yeah.
And all their families together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that, what is Royston as far as, where are your ancestors from?
They're from Ireland and England.
But is Royston and is that an English name or an Irish name? I don't know.
Well, it's a little both, but
It
I
is.
think it's more English.
It is.
By
Okay.
what I can find in the books, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of our older Roystons were born in Ireland too,
Huh.
and then they came here before they had a family. All the real Roystons names have been here for over, I'm going to say, over 120 years that I can track back.
Yeah. Yeah, they have. It's an old Mazo name.
Yes,
there's no
it
doubt
is,
about it.
yeah.
It's
Right.
it's a very familiar Mazo name. So you have 5 siblings,
Yes,
and you have 2 daughters.
yes.
Is that right? And one is your mother, and one is married to Matt Brabender.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. So how many grandchildren do you have?
5.
5, and they're familiar to some of us because I mean our kids were about that age.
Right.
So there's Devin Brabender and Jacob.
Devin is out with Christy, and then there's Jacob,
Yeah.
who's still in school, and
Yep.
then there's Jocelyn, who's
Okay.
a sophomore,
Okay.
and now Devin is the only one that's gone on to Platteville. He's the first year of college
Got
there,
it. Okay.
and Jacob's a senior,
Yeah.
and Jocelyn's a junior, and then I have Teresa Duhr,
Yeah.
my other daughter. They had 2. This great guy, Jameson, and
and his sister.
Caitlin.
Yeah,
It-
she was
she's
my
younger.
age.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm I don't
And
know 4 years younger than you.
Yeah.
So he married Vanessa.
Mhm.
What was her name?
Clarkson.
Clay. And
Also grew up on Sutcliffe
And-
Road. just down from the farm.
Yeah.
And the one married Nick Gunthy.
Oh, yeah,
also
Gunthy.
a Wisconsin
That's
Heights
right.
Yeah.
area.
Do you have one great grandchild?
Yeah,
Got it.
he's a pistol, but he's a good
Yeah,
one.
Wesley.
Wesley.
Yeah, the main
Yep.
man, Wesley.
He's
And
the
now we can say you have another one on the way, right?
Yep, I can even
I
say
think.
I got another great
Nick,
grandson
Nick
coming.
and, or
We know it
Kid one,
is.
Yeah. No, not
Really?
me. No.
His sister.
Really?
If you
Caitlin.
watch,
We
if you-
are-
if-
we are
if
the
you
British-
So I
watch,
knew this last time
Yeah.
when I was up here.
Oh,
and you were
but you
talking
couldn't say
about
anything.
Everett, and I was like, I
withholding
don't remember if I'm
info.
supposed to say anything or not,
Yeah.
so I held back.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we're safe.
Did
with
you
something.
watch? Did you watch this? You said you watched the Springsteads
Yes.
interview. They also
announced
told us that one of their kids was having.
Karsten, their youngest, they both turned to each other. Can we say this? Yeah. And they announced that he and his wife were having a baby on our podcast. So this is like
That's the
first.
second time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
huge.
It's the second time. It's
Yeah.
kind of maybe
Yeah.
have it be a thing we do from now on. If
Yeah.
you're gonna announce you're
Breaking
having a baby,
news, yeah.
come on the podcast
Yeah.
and we'll spread it out there.
Yeah, we just had a family, I don't know, a month ago anyhow, gathering out to Matt and Christie's, and they came and brought the dessert.
Mm.
And it was kind of cute the way she did it, or they did it. They had cupcakes, and so we all had to have a dessert and take a bite to see how it tastes.
Mm.
And when you bit into it, then it was revealed this is what we're having.
Yeah.
So she had squirted blue frosting
Oh,
in the center of the
nice.
cupcake.
Boys,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
And so
Playmates now.
Right.
There
it
you
was
go.
announced what we were having.
Yeah.
So
The gender reveal. I watched one on YouTube the other day. These guys, it was the family gathered over here, and then these two, quote, professional wrestlers came out, one in pink and one in blue. And they were throwing each other around, and finally the blue guy, I think, threw the pink guy on a table. And the dad came out in a referee shirt and called him out, slammed
Yeah.
the thing 3 times. And so they were having a baby. So
Yeah.
they
I
go
was
to
gonna
great
say, which
lengths.
one is
These
it then? Yeah.
they go to great lengths. These
cute,
gender
yeah.
reveals. No, did you have that? Did you do that?
No. No.
Good. That's okay.
I don't. Oh, we didn't find out though. We didn't know.
Okay,
Did you decide not
did it
to?
the old-fashioned
Yeah,
way.
we
huh?
did it the old-fashioned
Nice.
way. Actually, because my grandma said something to the extent of there's so few surprises left
Yeah,
in this life. Don't take
yeah.
whatever. So that was like her take on it. But yeah, so we didn't find out until it was born. Obviously, he was born.
Of course, Nick being a doctor, he probably has all the facilities to do.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably
Find out
right.
what gender it is, huh? So that's your immediate family. I was trying to think of. Was there other? Do you have any questions about that? I was going to move on to something else. Did you have any other things to say about your family? I didn't know if there was
just
anything.
that, I guess Sharon and I are really fortunate
Yeah.
that none of our immediate family is further than Middleton
Yeah.
away from us. Yes.
Yeah.
And boy, they pop in and out, the older kids, and
trying to
just
think who's in
bring
Middleton.
their friends if they want and raid the refrigerators.
How
and
fun, huh?
Do that. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it keeps you young.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes, probably, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And your youngest brother, David, is he retired now from the JAG? From
Yeah, he's
Just a
sort
game?
of got it, maybe his finger in so much that he's a janitor. But they bought a condo in North Carolina,
Okay.
and they go there not real often, but for stretches at a time. I think they're down there now. in
Okay.
fact.
Yeah, I was talking to Jameson about trying to get Roundy on the podcast when he's back here.
Yeah.
I went to high school with Joy. She was in my class, his wife.
That's
And so they'd be fun to have on because that's quite a building they've built, quite a business they built up there.
yeah, they have. I mean, they sort of they had the two businesses, Just a Game,
Yeah.
which was the sports center,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had the sporting goods store,
Sports Impressions.
Sports
was that?
Impressions, and they've moved into a bigger complex way up on the hill in the Dells there.
Really?
Yeah.
They remodeled a whole warehouse up there, and the younger Jade runs that one. Kyler runs the gym. They both own it together, and the folks sort of turned everything over to them, and they come in and work when they want. And it's working really good. And
Does that seem weird that your baby brother's retired almost?
well, yes, but even what made it worse for me is my daughter and her husband, Jesse, they're both retired from their
really?
jobs, and they're only in their 50s.
Wow. Yeah, right.
They retired young.
Yeah.
They did.
They both got good deals, and
Yeah, why not, huh?
why not? And that makes, but yeah, my brother around, everybody thought maybe we were 13 years apart. He'd be a pest, as we grew up, and
Yeah.
this and that. And I never felt that way.
Nice.
And I don't think either. He did. He wanted to be with me all the time.
I bet. Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah.
I mean, as he got older, not when you're a baby, but
Yeah.
yeah. And I did a lot of coaching back then for kids, and I coached him, and he never got mad at me or never got anything along the way. So, no.
What sports did you coach when you were
I
younger?
started back when we never had a little league football team.
Okay.
So I got a team together back then and coached football, and we really didn't have no one to play either at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So Bernie Harrop, a friend of mine there, an amazing guy, was in Mounds Creek area. So he got a Mounds Creek football team coming.
Wow.
And then we had another team, and I can't remember who even coached that come in. So we played down at the old Mazo School on that diamond, and we played 2 games against each other throughout the season, and we coached that. And then I coached Little League Baseball for several years, and that was, I was involved with kids or sports of some type. I like that.
Did you play sports in high school at Mazo?
Yeah.
You went to Mazo High School.
Mazo High School.
All the way through. You said you went to first grade. Did you go to kindergarten? Did they have kindergarten
No,
back then?
they didn't have
no kindergarten. So you went to first grade in Black Earth.
Yes.
And then they moved back. Your family moved back here, and you were for second grade all the way to senior in high school.
Yes.
And what kind of sports did you play?
I played basketball was my favorite sport. I did that, and I played baseball, and I was out for football a couple of times, and my own player, Joe Kirch,
Oh, okay.
knocked me out twice in football, and I says, if they're going to knock me out, I'm not going to go against some other school.
Yeah.
So I honestly quit football.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, how tall and how much did you weigh back then?
Well, I was maybe 5'8.5" at the most.
Yeah.
Which I've shrank a good inch,
Mm-hmm.
but I was soaking wet 140 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've exceeded that quite a bit.
You've done some damage on that side.
Yeah, you do better now.
So
Yeah, you do better in football. Yeah.
yeah. So anyhow, that was
What year did Mazo? I didn't know. Did you play like other types of? I thought Mazo didn't have a baseball team. Did they have it when you were in high school? Did they start that? Okay.
we were back in what we were called Tri-County way back then. We played like Sauk City
Okay.
against Big Shorty Young. If you remember him at all.
I don't.
He went on to UW.
Oh, really? Okay.
The Spring Green we played, Lodi, all the pretty big schools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How big was your graduating class? Do you remember?
Well, yeah, I do, because we just had our 65th
Oh, wow.
reunion out to rookies. We had 33
In the graduating class.
in a graduating
Okay.
class. 33 in a graduating class. There was 16 of us left. One just passed away. Well, you probably know Jenny Barsness.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
she was in my class.
Okay. I was
And-
going to ask that. Okay.
She was at the reunion, though, but there was 12 at the reunion out of 16 that could have been. And 3 are out of state. One was from Azamani that didn't show up. So
That's a pretty
but it
good
was
turnout.
a quick thing. So we had
Yeah.
a real good
Where did you have it at Rookies? You
at
said?
rookies. Yeah.
Huh. Wow, 65 years. That's amazing.
Right.
Huh.
I'm 9 years for me. What do you? This will be your 13th year out.
Yeah, and we've never had one a reunion.
That
I don't
might,
think. Maybe
that
we
might
have,
be
I
a
guess.
blessing nowadays
Yeah.
because like the first 10 are always like, at least what I've heard from my brothers and stuff. Those are always awkward.
Yeah.
So when you get older and people get married and then it's a little less.
Yeah.
That way it seems like because they just go out to Rookies.
Right.
So it's like
Right.
just hanging out at Rookies.
Exactly.
I don't-
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
to
No, we
bash the
never
people that-
had one for my class, so I don't. Maybe another 10 years.
Yeah.
20 year. 8 years.
I don't even remember in baseball, though. That was, I don't know if you ever remember. We played against Black Earth at that time. 'cause
Right.
It was there. We were separate.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Brabender
Yikes.
went on to the majors
Right.
in several different teams. And he was a high school pitcher when I was there.
Scary.
And he could throw a 90 or 95 mile ball then.
Yeah.
And he was wild besides, so no one
Yeah.
liked to bat it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But
That's the
he
worst.
turned out
Yeah.
to be a pretty good baseball player.
Did you ever have a chance at beating them, or was he so dominant that
No,
you couldn't?
we never.
Yeah,
I
they
don't think
just-
we ever beat him at all.
Yeah, and he was a pretty big guy too,
He was
wasn't
big
he?
and
So it was
stocky, yes.
intimidating.
Very strong and intimidating.
Yeah.
Yes,
Huh.
good pitcher.
Yeah. I know the name. I had his baseball card. Did he play for the Seattle Pilots or something? Maybe for a little bit.
Maybe
I don't know
one.
how many years he played, but he
He
played.
played quite a few, but
Yeah.
about 4 different teams,
Yeah.
if I
Well, you
remember.
ended
right.
in Milwaukee, right?
He played for Baltimore. I know that.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
Pretty sure he played for the Brewers.
we're looking him up here. There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, this is my card. Seattle Pilots. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a Pilots.
I
Yeah.
think it was Baltimore. there.
Bats right, throws right. Born 1941.
Says 2 teams. I don't know if that's right
I don't
or
think
not.
that's right because he
Well, he
was
might
a
have played-
pilot, and the Pilots came to be the Brewers.
Oh,
so
here it
maybe
is, right
that's
here.
where
He
they-
pitched for the Baltimore Orioles,
Yeah.
Seattle Pilots / Milwaukee Brewers. So
Yeah.
they must have been
That's probably
signed by the Los Angeles Dodgers as an amateur,
in 61.
nicknamed Lurch. Probably didn't dare call him that, did
You
you?
know who Lurch? You know who Lurch is on the Adams Family?
Oh,
He would always
yeah, I
you
do.
rang
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
guy,
okay.
huge guy. I wonder if that's why they called
This is
him.
the picture that I think Matt Brabender has.
Wasn't
as
that
his
interesting
Facebook
that
page.
Yeah, that's
your
That's pretty cool.
son-in-law is a nephew of his?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So did you ever meet him after high
Yeah.
school? Okay.
Yeah, there was. Well, I talked to Gene, afterwards quite a bit. Then he had some troubles there, but they had a big thing when he lost his World Series ring.
Oh, tough.
Oh,
And somehow it got found, and I think several went and bought it back for him
Mhm.
somehow. I don't know where. I asked Matt if they knew where the ring was, and he said he did not know.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know who's got it.
Huh. Well, we've got to. I don't know if you can stay for another section. Do you have anywhere to go, or can you stay for another half an hour?
Sure.
You sure?
We're good.
Just real quickly, I wanted to ask before we take a break, because we'll go into your service for our country,
Okay.
and we'll talk a little bit about some of the things you've been doing in retirement. But I just wondering, any favorite sports star growing up that you really liked to follow? Was there anybody that stands out in your mind when you were a kid or even in high school that you liked?
No, I guess not really stands out.
Yeah.
But
How about any movie star or anything like that? Did you go to the movies?
oh my gosh, yes, we used to go all the time. Of course, John Wayne was big,
Yeah.
yeah.
big back then.
Yeah.
And,
Did Mazo have a movie theater, or did you have to go to Sauk or something?
well, no, we didn't have a movie theater to speak of, but in the old community building, and the holes are still up there. And
Yeah, right.
We used to
Yeah.
show movies,
Yeah.
but we never had a theater that you could go and pay money to
Yeah. Yeah, they did that when I was a kid too.
Yeah.
They would have somebody up there operating the film.
Yeah,
And
that's the
you'd
closest.
go there and watch the movie up on the stage there. It would flash a big screen or something. I can't even remember what they had up there, but yeah.
But I'm a sports nut. My wife said you'd watch Timbuktu if they were playing on TV, and I would. You know, yeah, I watch them all. I'm always interested in Wisconsin right now is in such a turmoil. I'm really interested in it. And,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I follow no really big favorite except Wisconsin teams, but I follow all the stars, even Rogers and all those. They always interested in them, but.
Well, how about we take a break and then we'll have Dick and Jameson come back for the second half.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Welcome back to our 36th episode of the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. Great interview with Jameson and Dick Hudson.
Yeah, and that was just part 1, which is wonderful. So next week, 37th episode, we'll have part 2.
It's neat how that works, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
What a nice Christmas gift to have a grandfather and grandson on the couch, have the mayor of Mazo.
The
Drew
warden
calls
of
him
Wisconsin.
because they're on a first name basis. John, actually, you've spent more time. You sat by
Royston.
Dick at basketball games,
Yep.
didn't you, and such?
Yep.
Back in the day.
Yeah, had a good time.
Go way back.
Does he? Yeah, because he probably still goes because of
Jacob is.
Jacob.
Yeah. He was telling us after He was telling us after the interview downstairs. He was saying how Jacob, and then what's Devin and Jacob's youngest sister, Jocelyn. She's a sophomore, I think, and she says, "You never come to my games if there's a crossover. You know, what I mean, if they're at the same time." And he said, "Well, this is Jacob's last hurrah, and you got 2 more years." So
he'll be at all the games.
yeah, he's got 3 more years with grandchildren.
Is she the youngest?
Yeah.
Okay,
Youngest grandchild.
That wisdom right there is why he was the mayor of
It's Solomon. It's Solomon-like.
Ask.
That's a very nice. That's a very good politician answer, I think.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he had to do that when he was the mayor.
Yeah,
I'm sure he
people,
had to.
for sure.
Hey, listen, you know,
Compromise.
Let's negotiate. Let's compromise here. Let's think this through.
He learned that being a warden, I think.
Yeah, being the warden.
The warden.
I don't think he compromises the warden.
No.
Well,
Okay.
he
Do you know what wardens are?
I do know what like park wardens and stuff, or like he's like
Prison
game
wardens, jail wardens.
Game wardens, yeah. That he wasn't
I don't think
technically
he
the
compromised.
He wasn't the warden, but he would go out. He was part of the DNR.
He
Compromise
worked with
elsewhere.
wardens.
That's what
He
they
worked
say.
with all the wardens.
and he had to.
Was he
was
kinda
the
like
head
the
of the
PR type.
He was,
thing, wasn't
and
he?
he had to go out with them.
But
and do
are we
certain
giving
things.
away for next week though? I
Probably
think.
are, yeah.
Okay, we
Dad,
sneak.
look what you
sneak
did.
peek. I didn't.
Look what you did, you
I
little
didn't
jerk.
feel like it.
Come on, if you remember what that's from, you can play that.
What is the matter with you? He started it. He ate my pizza on purpose. He knows I ate sausage and olives and
Look what
onions
you
and-
did, you little jerk.
Your dad's
So that
paying
was
good
nice.
money for this trip.
Yeah, that was a good interview. We've been wanting that a long time.
Part one,
Part 1.
not the full interview. Next week, don't miss that. All right. Now that we've done all of our
This is a fun
housekeeping, Drew,
This is
sounds
a fun
like
segment.
it. Yeah. Well, here comes the fun segment.
Yeah.
We used to call Drew. Drew's nickname used to be Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So
Not from
Here's
any
the
other,
fun segment.
Not from anything else.
no. Anyway, Drew, what do you got for us
Well,
today?
I decided, there's only 50 states, so we're going to run out of real estate there. So
Nice.
we're going to do a little this day in history today.
All right.
And we're using December 10th as this day in history.
Okay, December 10th.
This day in history, the Wisconsin Heights Vanguards play against
Parkview.
Parkview.
At Parkview.
Yeah.
Last
Well,
Saturday.
yeah.
And Santa's.
At 2:30.
Santa's
Santa's
Community Center.
Yep. People are sitting on Santa's lap
Yeah.
today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hopefully all kids. So here we go. We'll just get roaring on some of these. A few of these I have a little bit more information on. Some of them might just kind of be fun to maybe talk about, or we could just name them. In 1520, Martin Luther publicly burns the papal edict demanding he recant. So he decided not to, and then I think he got excommunicated.
Yep. Then he went into hiding and
Yeah.
wrote songs like "A Mighty Fortress Is Our God" and stuff like that.
Was he? Was because of this? Was his life in danger?
From church history books that I studied, yes.
Did he get
I didn't
like
live there. I'm not that old, and I can't talk to like any of my parents or grandparents or great grandparents to get that, because that's way too bad. That's too far back.
Did he get excommunicated? Was that like being exiled to another? Was he like?
No, that's
pushed-
exiled.
Okay.
Excommunicated is that you no longer have a voice. He was a
You're basically
Catholic monk, and
you're
and
basically removed from
But
society.
you said he went into
essentially.
hiding. Did he leave where he was at?
He went to the castle at Wartburg, I think it was called, in Germany, to hide from
not his
the people that were after him.
Yep.
So
Set the world on fire back then.
supposedly the start of the Reformation.
No, he just set the papal thing on fire, not the world.
That's true.
That was the
I
whole
mean,
world.
that was-
What year was that again?
1520.
1520. What was it? What was it? 15? Was it 1519 that he posted
1492.
posted the
Something like that, I saw
99
it.
theses
Yeah.
on the church door.
Yep.
Anyway,
You're right.
I don't know.
That was it's now, since we're 2022, that was nearly 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost exactly 500 years ago.
502 years ago.
There you go. That's why I said nearly. 1582. France begins use of Gregorian calendar.
Oh, that was a big day.
Yep, the Gregorian calendar is the calendar used in most parts of the world.
Big change coming.
It was introduced in October 1582 by Pope Gregory VIII as a modification of and replacement for the Julian calendar. The principal change was to space leap years differently, so as to make the average calendar year 365.2425 days long, more closely approximately the 365.2422 day tropical or solar year that is determined by the Earth's revolution around the sun.
that makes more
Previously, the Julian calendar was 365 and a quarter day. So this put it almost
Makes a lot
exactly.
of sense. Yeah.
So here's the rule for leap year, and we'll try to weed through this.
And if they have to stop and go back again, you can always do that. That's
Let's
a
do
great
that.
thing about this.
I'll
podcast.
try to read it slowly so that they can go back multiple times, but hopefully they can get it at once. The rule for leap year is this: every year that is exactly divisible by 4 is a leap year.
Correct.
Except for years that are exactly divisible by 100. But these centurial years are leap years if they are exactly divisible by 400. For example, the years 1700, 1800, and 1900 are not leap years, but the year 2000 is. So basically it's every 4 years,
100.
but then there's certain rules that, then the 100 years has to be divisible by exactly 400. Anyway, so I'm really glad that they figured that out a long time ago, because if it were up to me, I would just say, let's just do a leap year every 4 years.
Yeah.
and
Let's
not
just say
have
thanks to
rules.
Greg.
Yeah.
Or just not have a leap year.
That was
Be
nice
like,
of
whatever.
Greg to do that, because it's more systematic, more accurate.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nice to know there was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday back in the Julian calendar.
Greg, the good guy Gooser was his nickname.
Julian calendar lasted a long time.
It did.
Yeah, it did.
You're right. Yeah, it did.
Personal story here.
About the Gregorian.
Mom, born in 1960. She was one day away from being a leap
Year baby.
And so 2 years from now, less than 2 years, a year and a half from now, less than a year and a half from now, when she's 64, she would be 16 years old.
Wow.
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
She was born.
That is
in a
robbing
leap
the
year.
cradle. If
Yeah.
I'm 64 and she's 64, that's robbing the cradle. It's illegal.
There's
That's
other
true.
names for it too, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose if she had permission.
Yeah, she
Her
had permission
parents.
from Johnny and Sharon. Yep.
That's true. Anyway, glad that glad that Greg.
Thanks for unpacking that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I wonder if back then they were saying, Greg's cooking up a new calendar.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be out soon.
Yep.
Big change coming here.
Yep.
I wonder if they had
Greg,
like
can you give us a little sneak
a
peek?
calendar, like they have now.
Oh yeah, with
and
like
then
treats in it or something.
Either that
Like a
or
Christmas thing.
yeah, or they had like a picture in January of snow and then a picture of
Painted by
February and
Greg.
snow. Well,
Yeah.
it depends where you live.
Well, that's true.
A picture of snow in March.
In
a
March.
picture of snow.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can
Flowers in
find a
April,
picture
maybe.
of Greg.
Yeah, I
Oh
bet
yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
yeah. That'd be good.
Well, I'll keep grooving here.
Greg the Eighth.
Yep. Pope Gregory the Eighth. All right.
Just drink some water.
Yeah.
I want to give it away.
Yeah.
There he is right there. It's exactly what I thought he looked like.
Can we get that bigger?
Yep.
Or
Don't
maybe
tell
Damon
me.
can
I don't want
flash
somebody to
that.
tell me
Can we get that bigger?
that there are people nowadays that are smarter than that guy.
Trouble.
I mean, look at that guy.
Is that was he the football coach at Ohio State
Yeah.
too?
That's his
Brian Day.
great.
No, he's just a figurehead, I bet. I bet you the people under him are really smart. I bet you it wasn't his calendar. I bet you he didn't even have the idea.
Julie,
Well,
like
like
the
It's all these
Julian.
politicians that have like
Julius
4 or 5
Caesar.
different people under them. They're the smart
Was
ones.
that the Julian calendar? Was Julius Caesar?
Yeah,
supposedly?
and depending on when it was in the history of the Catholic Church, he might have been like more powerful than the king at that
correct.
point.
That's correct.
And so maybe he was the main man, and he had people underneath him, who
Yeah.
were really
Can
smart.
we see
But
any?
you know what?
Can we
He
see
was
any
smart
bigger
because
pictures?
he maybe
Like,
used
could you go to
people that were
images?
smart under him.
That's
Nope, this is
That's-
basically
that's-
Can you go to images
Greg,
up there?
Greg maybe delegated.
He's this isn't even his real name.
Bon
He's Pope Gregory the Eighth. Yeah, that was his pen name.
Hugo.
Hugo.
He's
Bon
Hugo
Com-
Bon Campagne.
Wow.
Oh, is that
Bond
French?
Company.
The Bond Company.
Yeah.
Yep, and then talk about confusing. I think the guy that, or maybe this is somebody that helped him write the calendar, Pope Sixtus the Fifth.
Oh man.
How would you just be Fiftus?
Fiftieth.
The fifth.
Fifth.
Oh yeah, that'd be tough. Say that.
So are you the
Now is he
sixth or the
fifth,
fifth?
the sixth, or Sixtus the fifth?
Right
I don't
on.
know.
Okay.
All right, we've exhausted that.
Yeah, we have.
All right. 1672, New York Governor Lovelace announces monthly mail service between New York and Boston. Monthly. They would do mail. So we had to wait a while.
Does it make you mad when somebody doesn't answer your text within just a few seconds and they had to wait? You had to write it and then go to the post office
Yeah,
and
what
then you
if
had to
it-
wait 30 days.
What if you sent it off the beginning of the month, right? Thinking they would get it early that next month, and then you didn't get anything back from them the following month. You probably thought, is this person dead?
Hey, I
Maybe
know.
he's
good point.
I think I could have walked
ghosting
that.
me.
Yeah, he's
I
ghosting
know
you.
that. I know that the United States Post Office may have its problems. It may, but there's a lot of belly aching that goes on about it. But it's still an amazing thing if you send letters, to send a letter and to realize that it's gone across the United States or the world and it got there. That's amazing. I wonder how many of those didn't get there.
But then when you think about who our mailman is, Randy Brockman.
Oh,
then
true, Randall.
you go-
Well, that's true.
Then you go.
Then
That
you
doesn't.
know-
That
you know
doesn't surprise
exactly
me.
why.
You know,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
you feel
He's the
comfortable.
man.
You feel trusted and trustworthy.
All right, here we go.
Literally, he's the Brockman.
Brockman.
1684, Isaac Newton's derivation of Kepler's, not to be confused with the Keplers
Kyle
that live
Kepler.
You're talking
behind
about.
us.
Is it Ozer or Kyle?
That's why I just said that joke.
Okay.
Not to get confused with.
Of Kepler's law from his theory of gravity contained in the paper De Montu Corporeum in Gyrum is read. That's exactly how it's pronounced.
Was it N or N?
Is read to the Royal Society by Edmund Halley.
Kepler's law.
Kepler. Well,
If
yeah,
a Kepler goes up, a Kepler comes down. Is that what he?
I think that's exactly what gravity does.
Yeah.
1690, Massachusetts Bay becomes first American colonial government to issue paper money.
Kepler's third law. Which law is
which,
it?
Which law was it?
His first, second, or third law?
Isaac Newton's derivation of Kepler's law. I don't know. I don't. What are we doing?
Well,
I wanted to see what it was.
Oh,
so I
let
can-
him. I don't know. One of the things we've got to, when we talk
yeah.
about this behind the scenes, this is your show, so you can say stop, And I'm going
Collaborate.
on. You're the main producer
All
right
well, now that I feel like I now have that power, I'm going to just use it. I'm going to probably abuse it
I feel
too.
it.
All right, moving 100 years later, 1799, metric system first adopted in France, and then it was used throughout the world. We use the imperial system, it used to be called, now called the U.S. customary system. We just threw our name on it. Only 3 countries use this system: America, Liberia, and Myanmar. So
those are the other places I'm going to.
Yeah,
when I travel.
I know. Now, I'm not sure I would want to go to those other
I'm just
two,
saying
but-
that's where I'm going if I'm going overseas.
Yeah. So anyway, we just continue to use what the whole world used to use, because the imperial system, British, they used to use yards, inches, feet.
Of course
They used to use all of that.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, the
No,
United States is becoming too big and they're using it, so we're going to change it. And France said, let's do that. And so they all now use the metric system. We're not the weird ones. They're the weird ones. They
remember what
changed
Bob
it.
said about? Remember what Bob said about the French?
You're talking about
Kind of snooty.
Bob Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said they're kind of snooty.
Oh,
snooty.
So they
You
can
know
have
why
they
we
can
don't
have
have
that
to change?
system. We don't care.
Because we're Americans.
Yeah.
I sometimes think this. We're
I don't
really,
have to.
You're really starting to get. I mean, this is really detailed. Some of this,
Yeah.
and it's highbrow. I mean,
Yeah.
it's beyond us.
We're all about learning.
But I'm
That's
glad.
us.
I'm glad we're educating ourselves and our.
Here's something that would be
General public.
right up our alley. 1810, English bare knuckle boxing. Tom Cribb beats African American Tom Milano. That's not how you pronounce that.
Milano?
In 33rd of 40 round bout at Copthall Common, England. First interracial boxing match. 33rd round of 4. They're going to go 40 rounds.
That's what they.
I
That's what they
think
based
that was
the.
different back then, though. I think they danced around a lot and kind of sized each other up.
I've seen dancing a lot.
If I
way
danced around for
round.
40 and got punched once, I'd say I'm
Well,
done.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was based off of the Rocky movies. Was that bout right there? Because those Rocky movies.
They had gloves on. And they were
Can you not stretch your imagination a little
apparently
bit?
not.
They went, it was like they went 40 rounds and it was just punch after punch.
the
Oh,
rounds
yeah.
part. Okay, the
Yeah,
one.
or the westerns.
one-
where
God,
they
the wrestling
punch
is
and they
gonna
don't
go that
even.
far.
There's no teeth missing. There's not
Yeah.
a little dribble of blood. You know what would happen if you. Have you watched some of those bare knuckle things, or
Yeah,
even MMA
it's-
with a small glove?
I watched the ones where they get slapped across the face.
Oh, those Russian
ones.
Oh, they knock people out. That's, your ears would be
I
ringing.
can't imagine my ears.
Ears will be ringing. That's what mine would be doing.
We got some stuff. We got to get through some of these. I won't go too fast, though. I'll just kind of cut out some that nobody
Editing
likes.
on the fly.
In 1884, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain is first published in the UK and Canada. US was February 1885 due to printing error. So UK and Canada, they got a little preview.
They got it done right.
Everything
first.
I know about Mark Twain is from Andy Cole.
Oh, okay.
Get him on the podcast.
Yep.
He'd be a good person. to
He,
have.
would be
I
good
think he
interview.
used to give tours at Frank Lloyd Wright out there.
Taliesin.
Taliesin. All
He'd
right.
be a wealth of knowledge.
1898, Treaty of Paris, which ended the Spanish-American War, is signed by U.S. President McKinley. U.S. acquires the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Guam. On 1898, the United States declared war on Spain following the sinking of the battleship Maine in Havana, Unana Harbor on February 15, 1898. The war ended with the signing of the Treaty of Paris on December 10th, 1898. Do you know what I'm doing there?
That's just a pop culture
Okay.
reference.
Yeah.
No, I'm not pop culture.
Not
That's a
savvy
good
enough.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a
But
good
your
thing.
face is red again.
It's a song that
That's a
somebody
song.
sings.
I'm not-
Unana.
Havana,
Unana.
Unana is how it is part of it
Give me the
goes.
bio.
Okay.
As a result, Spain lost its control over the remains of its overseas empire. Cuba, Puerto Rico,
It is.
the Philippine Islands. I think I'm all doing it the exact same accent. Guam. You know what I did there? Guam.
Yeah.
Oh, I was right there with you.
And other islands.
Mm.
So,
Great job.
all right. 1904. Ivan Pavlov awarded the Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine for work on the physiology of digestion. He was the first Russian to win the Nobel Prize.
I'm just trying
Pavlov's dog.
to find. Is it Ivan or is it Ivan?
No,
You gonna get a pronunciation there?
I just want to make sure I'm
Pavlov.
typing it in right.
Pavlav. Pavlov.
Okay, we'll move on.
We'll go back.
You
and
got
find
the
it.
wrong information. It says he's a Russian Soviet experimenter.
Okay. 1919, the NL votes to ban the spitballs used by all new pitchers.
National League.
So they must have grandfathered in some other guys throwing spitballs.
Gaylord Perry
Gaylord
just
Perry.
passed away. He was a spitballer, or at least.
Would they spit all over?
Well, I think it could be saliva, but it could be. I think there was other
Vaseline,
things
and
they would
everything like that,
use
right?
to make
Wow.
it
Reduce
slippery.
spit.
and do
Supposedly,
different things.
Pete Rose says that he hit a baseball that Gaylord Perry threw, and he could see the spit fly off of it. Supposedly,
I like those old stories.
In 1932, the Great Emu War ends. Emus' surprising resilience to bullets led to emu victory over Australian military in Campion District, Western Australia. The Emu War, also known as the Great Emu War, I don't know why we have to say the Great Emu War, but was a nuisance wildlife management military operation undertaken in Australia over the later part of 1932 to address public concern over the number of emus said to be running amok and destroying crops in the Campion district within the wheat belt of Western Australia. The unsuccessful attempts to curb the population of emus, a large flightless bird indigenous to Australia, employed Royal Australian Artillery soldiers armed with Lewis guns, leading the media to adopt the name Emu War when referring to the incident. While a number of the birds were killed, the emu population persisted and continued to cause crop destruction. So
they were
wasn't
going
a
out
war
there. They
against
were just it was a
people,
war
it was a
against
war
emus.
against
yeah,
emus.
yep.
Okay.
Yep, these new farmers, because there was a Great Depression as well in that time for Australia, so they were trying to get farmers in that area, and they were planting wheat and all sorts of things, and these emus were just coming through and destroying their crops.
Wow.
So they're
pretty big too, aren't they?
Yep, they had to
They
go
almost
after
look
them.
like ostriches a little
look
bit.
at,
Are they?
look up an emu egg. They're weird.
Emu.
Are they related to the ostrich?
It might be. I don't know. I would think.
Distant cousin.
They're massive flightless
wow.
birds. Look at those. Look at those eggs. They're huge.
They almost look like they're
They look
Easter
like,
eggs.
They look like
died.
rocks from the from Lake Michigan.
Oh, yeah,
Don't they a
those
little
are
bit?
interesting.
Yeah.
They're emerald.
Yep. 1936, Edward VIII signs instrument of abdication, giving up the British throne to marry American divorcee Willet. That's not her name. Wallace? Wallis Simpson? Wallace.
Could be.
Tough.
The cheese grommet.
So that paved the way for Queen Elizabeth to become the queen.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Otherwise, had he stayed, she would never have
I didn't
been
know
queen.
that behind the scenes story.
Her father then took over the throne and then died, and then she took the throne.
And for all those years,
just passed away. This last,
So had he
this
not
year.
given up abdication of the throne to marry this divorcee,
his son or daughter would
correct,
have been.
correct.
Wow.
This is near and dear to our hearts here. 1939 National Football League Championship, the Dairy Bowl, West Allis, Wisconsin. Green Bay Packers beat New York Giants 27-0. Didn't even let them score a single point.
That's how big that
That's
was.
the Packers' fifth title there.
Boom.
Man, I tell you, the Packers could use that defense nowadays.
Yeah,
Our defense is
that
no
defense
good.
would get destroyed.
You see pictures. I don't mean to be mean, but you see pictures of them. They're
It'd be like you could
they're
throw the ball?
I'd be a tackle.
Yeah.
I'd be a big tackle on their team. 6'1" and 210 pounds.
25 pounds.
Yeah, I'd be or a
would've-
linebacker.
I would have been
or
like a roaming safety, running
Yeah.
off.
No, you
running
would've
off
been a
the
running back.
center.
You've been a running back.
true.
You guys would have been right
I
next to each
but I
other.
could have been a safety roaming the
Yeah.
backfield there and probably running a 5'6", easy
5'6", 40.
40.
And you're one of the faster guys on the field.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
We'll talk about my speed and agility.
Yep. What year was that again?
1939.
Your physicality would have fit right in, though.
Yeah, I would have been probably strong safety. I've been
Yeah.
right at the line. That's where I would have mixed it up.
You've been a linebacker.
No, just a leather helmet.
Yeah.
You would look at. Hey,
We got to get that on
get
here.
Yeah,
that,
we gotta
hey,
get that
Devon,
one.
put one on Drew right now. See if you can put a leather
Take your
helmet
hat
on.
off. Take my hat
Yeah.
off so you can put that on
Put
my
a
head.
leather helmet on. Doesn't he look like a
Watch this, I'm
1939?
Yeah, like they're
Just like
football
your-
cards.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. I don't know if they did any of the football cards. Like
You
that,
remember those football cards where
But they
would
would kind of do. They would kind of do
or
the running
diving.
ones.
Sometimes they'd be diving.
Yeah.
They'd show them diving or doing
Oh.
poses.
No stunt
again.
doubles
We
there.
missed-
Trying to
you
catch
missed
a
the
ball
catch.
out here while
Yep.
their legs are over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. That's because they're getting a toss,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
sweep. The old Packers.
Up the alley.
The old Packers
And you
sweep.
get a seal here and a seal
Seal
here,
here, yeah.
and you run it up the alley.
All right, 1963. Some people will like this. Maybe other people will too. 6-year-old Donny Osmond's singing debut
Oh, yeah.
on Andy Williams'
Andy
show.
Williams.
Yep.
Mom and I once in a while will flip that on when you guys aren't around or everybody's
appreciate
busy,
that.
and we watch some of the Andy Williams because they have them on YouTube now, and Bing Crosby. We like to watch those. Wow, they
Look
go
at
way
Norm. Go up. Just look. Norm. I can't. Oh, Willie. Wiley. Right there in the middle,
Yeah,
right at the
he's-
bottom of the
he's-
screen. He's
yeah,
doing
spread
like
eagle.
Superman
Yeah.
down there. See him?
Oh, there's the one that I was going for.
Oh,
up
that
there,
guy's
number
getting
3.
tackled. 49.
Give us a. Do we have a lot more?
A couple more.
Look up a YouTube Andy Williams. Look up that one with Andy Williams and Donny Osmond, 1963. Look it up. Just so we'll see if we can watch it for a second.
Okay.
We got 5 minutes.
Just real quick. I'll just blast through one more.
Okay.
2001, The Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings film directed by Peter Jackson,
This is a
starring
Christmas movie.
Elijah Wood and Ian McClellan. Premieres in London. 2001.
Wow.
I used to watch that movie a lot. I liked that a lot.
What?
The first one, Fellowship of the Ring. We had him on VHS.
There he is.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's the one I remember.
This one or this one?
Well, that one
That's
says second.
performance.
So that one's
So
debut.
that wouldn't be his first.
Is it this one, Dad?
I don't know, but either one. I mean, it's close.
Just a real
It's
quick
just-
clip here.
Of course, we got to watch some
I don't know why
commercials.
that's not playing.
Tough.
Uh-oh.
We're good.
We got technical difficulties. Yeah. Trouble.
Skip
Well-
ad, Joe.
Can we skip that? There we go.
But
I don't
we
know
won't be
why
able
it's
to
not
hear it.
playing music.
Wait.
Can you put that up there? Well, this is not going to
Yeah,
work.
it's not. We gotta stop. Sorry about that.
That's
Well,
just
why
down.
it's not- I
Hey,
don't know
but
why
listen,
the chord's not working.
listen. There's some people that I won't name names, but there's some women that are my
That's what I
age or
thought.
around
Some
there,
people
and they're
would
going,
like that.
"Oh, Donny Osmond, he was
Heartthrob.
he was a heartthrob, no doubt about it." Yep.
Yeah.
What else you
See
got?
why?
I got a
Still
few.
is, I think.
I got a few fun holidays here.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's cap that
Here's
off.
a few fun holidays. We got the Dewey Butkey Decimal System Day
Nice.
today, or just the Dewey Decimal System. But that made me think right away of Dewey
Dewey
Butkey,
Butkey, yeah,
right when I
yeah.
saw Dewey
You bet.
Decimal. But
Yeah.
you had to probably use the Dewey Decimal System in libraries.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah. To find books and stuff like that. Yep.
Probably pretty important when that used to be kind of your internet.
Yep.
You know.
Did you guys remember going to the library and having the cards you had to pull out and look?
Rolodex.
And then,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep. Yeah, but that was for just a short time.
Yep.
Good old Miss Brennan
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
in the old library there in
The
Mason.
library that seemed huge, and now you go into it and it's
Yeah.
very small.
Yeah, it's just kind of a good sized room.
You can get lost in there, it felt like.
Yeah. That's because I think you were smaller than the bookshelves. And so it just felt like you were just in this massive maze.
Just go ahead. Don't let this bother you,
Yeah, I know.
anybody.
Yeah.
Don't
Let's
focus
put
on
that
what Joe's
away.
doing.
Let's put that away.
It's also National Animal Rights Day today. So go out and give those animals rights.
I'd give them right all day.
Nobel Prize Day. Also today.
Go right on the basketball court.
Yeah.
I'd give them. I'd go right.
You followed that?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
It's right there with him.
What was
Yeah.
the last one?
Yeah.
That was it?
Nobel Prize Day. That's why there was Pavlov. When I was looking through the list, there was probably 20 plus because I think maybe around this time is when they do the Nobel Prize, Peace Prize.
Is there a Nobel
There's-
Prize for
doing
entertainment?
I don't.
For podcasts?
Oh, yeah. Well,
How do you get
We're
that?
just going
Do you have
for
to be,
we're just going for Oscars and such.
oh.
Isn't that acting?
Oh, and we
Yeah, I don't think
sang
we do that.
we sang
probably get Best
earlier
Actor
on the
on
podcast.
American
those are
Grammy.
Emmys, aren't
Grammy.
Grammy.
Emmy, whatever.
Emmy. That's what we want.
Oscars
Right,
are
but
for
Grammys
acting.
are for singing.
That's what I was saying. Nobody listens to me on
Well,
this
I mean, we
podcast.
are just.
I
thank
felt
you for
like that
doing
was
it.
that was a really entertaining day
was
in history.
entertaining and educational.
And education.
And it fit right in to our
And
time
I
frame.
want to thank Dick, and
Jameson.
Jameson, Dick. Thank you for coming on, the mayor, and John for being here as usual. Hudson for producing all of this, all the behind the scenes things you do. I mean, this would not be possible without you.
It's true.
Drew,
Demond.
you, the stuff you brought today was just
brought
right
my
here, top
A-game
shelf.
today, yeah.
Joe, having you there
Yep.
just makes me feel safe and secure because
makes you smarter.
Makes me smarter, and it makes me feel like we're not going to we don't have to run that disclaimer all the time anymore because we've got it right
it
up
now.
there.
Kinda was
Sorry
fun to
for
do that,
not sorry for not having Donnie Osmond being able to. We'll fix that. We'll get that fixed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's
Are
going
you
on.
thanks to
apologizing for not having
Demond.
Donnie Osmond on here? or-
No, no,
We
no.
might.
Thanks to Demond for doing all the post production stuff, and thank you for watching the original Father Son voiceover podcast. Now to you, Hudson.
That's it for episode 36. Next week, episode 37.
Started with Eeyore, ended with Eeyore.
Sure did.
There we go.
Yeah.
But that's not my nickname. That's your nickname.
Yeah,
All right. That's
more
it.
Christmas stuff next.
Yeah. See you then. Are you dying to see more content like that? Check out the video over here or subscribe over here. Thanks.